Hi guys, I welcome you all to our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth, and I'm your educator Saranya. And today it's our numerical dose session. Most of you were messaging us, emailing us, contacting us, and telling us that we are not teaching bioprocess and when we will be starting that. Actually, guys, bioprocess concepts and the material balance, fundamental processes, all of these concepts we are covering in numerical dose. You can see we are solving as many questions as possible in numerical dose to make you understand the concepts of bioprocess. Okay, bioprocess we cannot deal in depth in such a short period of time, because when we start bioprocess it's a never ending. Okay, it's a never ending subject and most of it is derivation. So in order to understand them it will take more time. So the alternative way to cover the bioprocess also and get good marks in GATE is through the previous year questions. Previous year questions in bioprocess, previous year questions in computational biology, and previous year questions in all those material balances, chemical engineering concepts we are dealing in the numerical dose. If any of you do not know about this, get to know it. Okay, so far 4 numerical doses have been completed. This is your 5th class. In the 4 numerical doses we have completed 2020 and 2019 year question. Okay, these 2 year question paper we have completed. So you can see as we complete the previous year questions, most of the concepts are repeating. Most of the questions are repeating and the solution to them is same. That is why I'm teaching bioprocess in a way where we can learn all the concepts and solve the questions. That is PYQs. Because there is a model. Okay, there's a model in bioprocess which will be followed. So the concepts pertaining all those model, if you learn, that will be more than enough for you to get good marks in bioprocess, because it is a highly scoring region, and from bioprocess they ask so many questions, especially numericals. So many numericals they ask from bioprocess, and most students what they do is they don't study bioprocess at all because they think bioprocess is difficult. It it is a little bit difficult because we don't understand it. Any subject is difficult because we don't understand it. Once we start to understand the subject it becomes easy. Similarly with bioprocess engineering also. But only thing with bioprocess is that it's a very big subject, it's a very vast subject. To cover so many concepts in less number of days and less time is quite impossible. But we want to score so many marks, okay, in bioprocess also. That is why in the strategy session itself I told you that all the bioprocess, computational biology, and material balances, chemical engineering concepts can be dealt with PYQs itself. Because in PYQs, almost all the important concepts and formulas required is covered. If you cover them, you can score very good marks in bioprocess section. Okay, you don't have to worry at all, no tension at all. That is what we are doing in numerical dose. Whatever I taught you in strategy session is what we are following in this course. Okay, that strategy is what I am following to teach you guys, so that you can cover up all of your portions, plus you're good in numericals too. Okay, so don't worry, don't deviate at all, and no confusion. Okay, we will cover all the concepts because this is a 3 months course. We have planned accordingly and we will cover all the courses for you, all the subjects. Every important concept will be dealt, which is of good potential of asking the question in your examination. So tension not. Okay, so today we are going to solve some of the questions in the numerical dose. So our first question is, Which one of the following BLAST search program is used to identify homologs of a genomic DNA query in a protein sequence database? Okay, BLAST is basically a search program where you can obtain the sequence of a DNA or a sequence of a protein. And there are different types of BLAST available. Okay, basically to find the sequences. These are databases. From the databases, we find the BLAST sequence for either a DNA or a protein. Okay, so there are different types of BLAST. Let's first understand what are the different types of BLAST and solve this question. Okay, for nucleotide BLAST, okay, it is called as BLAST N. N for nucleotide. Okay, BLAST N means a nucleotide BLAST. Query is a nucleotide. Query means what sequence you're looking for. What is your sequence? The sequence is basically the query. Database is the area where you go and search it. Okay, so the query is nucleotide, which can be DNA and RNA sequence, and databases from where you retrieve it. Okay, where do you search it? That is database. Nucleotide. So if you want to use your nucleotide and search it, your query is also nucleotide and the database is also nucleotide, then it is BLAST N. Okay, protein BLAST. Since protein starts with P, it's called as BLAST P. Your query is also protein and the database is also protein, which means your interest is also protein and the area where you're going to search is also in the protein database. Okay. Next is mixed BLAST. Mixed BLAST means either you can search for a nucleotide sequence in a protein database or a protein sequence in a nucleotide database. That is called as a mixed BLAST. Okay, BLAST X means you're going to search nucleotide sequence in the protein database. That is BLAST X. And your question is, see, simple, DNA query in protein database. So correct answer is option C, BLAST X. Next is T BLAST N. T BLAST N means protein. You're going to search in nucleotide database. Okay, that is T BLAST N. T BLAST X means nucleotide you're going to search in nucleotide database. So you'll have to remember this table. Okay, I've got this table to make sure you understand what are the different types of BLAST. Very simple concept this is. Okay, from bioinformatics, very few questions only they'll ask, but those questions are easy to answer also. So no need to skip bioinformatics part at all. These concepts are easy to understand also and easy to remember also. So what you can do is take a screenshot of this slide or either you can copy it. Whichever is convenient to you, you can do that. Take a screenshot of this and when you revise this table also. Okay, as you revise so many times, this table will be forming like an image in your brain. So when in exam you want to recall something about the BLAST, this table will come right in. Okay. Next question. Identify the character-based methods used for the construction of a phylogenetic tree. Okay, phylogenetic tree is to just understand the evolution. Okay, and there are methods like character-based method, distance-based method. So here from this option, they are asking us to find the character-based method. There are two character-based method present. One is maximum parsimony and maximum likelihood. So answer is B. Okay, neighbor joining method is your distance-based method. Next question. So the absorbance of a solution of tryptophan measured at 280 nanometer in a cuvette is 2 centimeter path length. So they've given you lambda value, they've given you path length value and the absorbance value, which is 0.56 at pH 7. The molar extinction coefficient, that is epsilon value, is 280 at 280 nanometer is 5600 per molar per centimeter. The concentration of tryptophan in micromolar in the solution is Can you remember how many times we have solved question like this, the same method? You know, by reading this question itself, you're going to use the formula A is equal to epsilon CL, Beer-Lambert's law. In the 4 sessions which we have covered in numerical dose, at least one question based on this formula we have solved in all the classes. So you can understand how commonly this question is asked. Right? How commonly this question is asked, and there is repetition. Your question, the way they form the question, the numerical values can be different, but you're going to use the same formula. Okay, so this is what happens with your bioprocess also. All the numerical places which you're going to solve is like this only. If you know the concept, if you know the formula, no matter how they reframe the question, you can pick out the data. Okay, you can pick out the data from the question and solve the answer. Okay, so they've given you absorbance value, epsilon value, path length. Simple, calculate the concentration. So formula you're going to use is equal to A is equal to epsilon CL. Okay, concentration they want. So concentration is equal to A divided by epsilon into L. A value 0.56, epsilon value 5600, L value is 2. So if you solve this, you will get 50 micromolar. Always note the unit. Okay, they'll ask you in which unit you have to give the answer. So you'll have to give in that unit only. You cannot give in molar. You have to give in micromolar only. Okay. Next question. A single stem cell undergoes 10 asymmetric cell division. Okay. The number of stem cells at the end is. Okay, so what is a stem cell? Stem cells are nothing but they are multipotent in nature. They can differentiate into various types of cells. Okay. They are pluripotent in nature. Okay, so what the stem cells do is they give rise to new tissues. Okay, they give rise to new tissues in our body. Okay, and how do they do that? By differentiation process. They commit themselves to a particular lineage and make that kind of cell only. For example, stem cells of liver will give rise to liver cells only. Stem cells of your adipose tissue will give adipose cells only. Okay. So there is a difference between the way stem cells divide. One is symmetric division. The other one is asymmetric division. Symmetric division means the stem cell basically, they will divide into 2 stem cells. One cell will divide into 2 cells and both of which will be stem cell only. This is known as symmetric division. Asymmetric division means when stem cells is going to differentiate, one cell will get differentiated into a particular cell and the other cell will be a stem cell. And this kind of division is known as asymmetric division. Always when stem cells differentiate, you will get one differentiated cell and one stem cell so that it can maintain the value of stem cells. Your body has a constant value of stem cells present because when stem cells divide, it does not become like 2 differentiated cells. It gives one differentiated cell and one stem cell so that it can maintain its number. Okay, so they're asking you asymmetric cell division. Asymmetric cell division means in each cycle you will get one stem cell. So 10 cycles means 10 stem cells. That's it. Next question is, genomic DNA isolated from a bacterium was digested with a restriction enzyme that recognizes a 6 base pair sequence. Okay, so genomic DNA is isolated from a bacteria and it was digested with a restriction enzyme that can recognize 6 base pair sequence. Assuming random distribution of bases, okay, which means this sequence is present so many times in genomic DNA randomly. The average length of fragments generated is. So, the restriction enzyme recognizes how many base pairs? 6 base pairs. And what are the base pairs basically? A, T, C and G. These are the 4 base pairs available, and the restriction site base pairs are 6 base pairs. So what is the combination? What is the combination that each of these 6 base pair can have? The first base pair can be like A, T, C or G. So 4. Second base pair also can be A, T, C or G. Similarly, each base pair can be either A, T, C or G. So the average length of fragments generated will be 4 power 6. 4 means the number of base pairs, power the length of the fragment, that is length of the base pair. So 4 is the possibility. Okay, they can ask you questions like this in protein also, in amino acids also. So remember, in the base you're going to know the possibility, that is A, T, C, G, and in the power you're going to put the length. Okay, that is 6 base pair. So you'll get 4096 fragments. Next question, shear stress versus shear rate behavior of 4 different types of fluids. 1, 2, 3, 4 are shown in the figure below. Okay, shown in the figure below. Which of the following option is correct? So, shear stress versus shear rate. So, this is basically a question from your chemical engineering part. Okay, you do not have to know this in depth, but you should know what each of this curve means. Okay, so I've got a picture for you to explain this. You can see here x-axis is shear rate and y-axis is shear stress. Okay, this line is Bingham plastic and the center line is Newtonian. This one is dilatant and this is pseudoplastic. If you remember this, it's more than enough. In depth, you do not have to know this. Next question, moist heat sterilization of spores at 121 degrees for first order reaction kinetics. As per the expression, they have given you the expression dN by dt is equal to minus kd into n, where n is the number of viable spores. Okay, n is the number of viable spores. T is the time, kd is the rate constants, and dN by dt is the rate of change of viable spores. Okay. If kd value is 1 per minute in minutes, okay, the time in minutes required to reduce, okay, required to reduce the number of viable spores from an initial value of 10 power 10, okay, initial value of 10 power 10 to a final value, okay, to a final value of 1 up to 2 decimal places. I read this question very slowly so that you can understand each and every terms. Okay, very simple question. We have already solved this type of question. So given data is that they've given you the formula. They've given you the value of kd, that is 1 per minute. N naught is the initial number of cells, Nt is the final number of cells. You're going to use the formula ln N naught by Nt is equal to kd into T. Note this formula. They're asking you to find the time. So T is, just rearrange the formula. T is equal to ln of N naught by Nt divided by kd. Okay. So T is equal to ln of N naught is 10 power 10 by 1. The whole divided by kd value is 1. So T will be 10 ln 10 and you will get 23.025 minutes as the answer. Okay, just go through it once. Very simple only. Next question. An aqueous solution containing 6.8 mg per liter of an antibiotic is extracted with amyl acetate. Okay. If the partition coefficient of the antibiotic is 170 and the ratio of water to solvent is 85, then the extraction factor is, simple formula you should know, extraction factor is equal to Kd. Okay, that is the partition coefficient. Kd means partition coefficient, which is 170, and into volume of solvent by volume of water. Okay, that is what they've given you in the ratio, volume of water to volume of solvent. What you have to do is, they've given you the ratio of water to solvent, but the formula is volume of solvent to water. Simple, you are going to invert this, or invert it. It will be like 1 by 85. Okay. So the formula is extraction factor is equal to Kd, that is 170, into Vs by Vw, that is 1 by 85. If you divide it, you will get the answer 2. Okay, that is the extraction factor. Next question. A microbial strain is cultured in a 100-liter stirred fermenter for a secondary metabolite production. If the specific rate of oxygen uptake is 0.4 per hour, that is Q naught value, and the oxygen solubility in the broth is 8 mg per liter, oxygen solubility value, then the volumetric mass transfer coefficient, which is KLa, of oxygen required to achieve a maximum cell concentration of 12 gram per liter is. Okay, there are so many unwanted data they will give you in the question to confuse you, but you should be clear. So what they've given you? They've given you Q naught value, they've given you concentration, they're asking you KLa, and they've also given you the maximum cell concentration. Simply put in the formula, KLa is equal to X max into Q naught by C star. You know the value of X max, you know the value of Q naught, you know the value of C star. Simply put it in the formula. Okay, so Q naught is how much? 0.4. X max value is 12. It's given in grams per liter. We want it in mg. So 12 into 10 power 3 mg per liter. Why do we want it in mg? Because always have the same unit. Here they've given you the oxygen solubility in mg. 8 mg per liter into, they've asked you in per second, but you have the value in per hour. So we are going to convert it into second. 0.4, we are going to convert into second, which means divided by 3600. That is 60 into 60. If you solve this, you will get as 0.167 per second. Okay. That is all for you today, guys. So today we solved some of the questions in numerical dose. Go through them, practice them, understand them, and you can refer to the previous year questions to solve the model questions. Okay. So if you are a CSIR NET aspirant and are interested in joining an academy, you can do that by taking subscription for the paid classes and following Neha Taneja ma'am. To get 10% off, you can use the referral code Neha. Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. You can join our Telegram channel Gurmantra. Thank you so much and have a nice day.